I woke up and I knew, because I wake up and I would have like 10 ideas to write down, or 10 clients that I never thought of to call. I'll just be writing, and the following morning as I'm calling them back to back, blast. Some people just say, I don't know why, but as I was praying this morning, your name dropped in my mind. I had a lot of that. Wow. That's how I knew that, okay,
this can only be God.
This can only be God. So I know this time around, I know it's a structure around it. So I was first of all a realtor. I didn't jump.
Yeah.
Because the thing about real estate is that if you want to fail, think that you have money and start buying big land and start selling. You are on your own. In fact,
you have to lay the ropes.
In fact, you have to
step by step.
It's not how we met.
Yes.
And then, fortunately for us, TCN, Covenant Nation, started real estate. I quickly joined, so that you can't do real estate without having a big GOD or a small GOD. You will finish yourself. I discovered that. So when the Covenant Nation started, it's one of the best decisions I made in my life. Joining that community, I learned, it was as if everything that they didn't teach me in anywhere in the world about real estate in Nigeria. But within the 8 weeks that I did that program, things changed for me, and I understood the dynamics. In fact, everything that has happened from that point when I joined the TCN community group till now has been as a result of that TCN community.
Wow.
And at the same time, I got to know that this knowledge, initially the knowledge I had with Legal City, it was for me and maybe my staff. When I was betrayed by my staff, I stopped sharing ideas with them. I closed shop. But God now said, no, this time around you are going to be sharing. They are not going to close. So if people come, are you doing it? I'll sit them down and I'll explain this way I'm going to do. Do you know? So it became a ministry. Wow. You see, I got to understand that real estate gave me the knowledge that I'm an apostle in the marketplace. I can't carry microphone and preach in church. Well, give me a platform.
I will finish
it, and I will lead you to Christ through that real estate.
No doubt, because this is how we met, right? I came in also into the real estate community group. I don't know what I was looking for.
Exactly.
But I knew, because I remember I came in. Okay, there was one training that was done in TCN, the Covenant place in Gomu.
Yes.
Right, and it was about real estate. I said, okay, let me even just look. I didn't say, because I am somebody, I've always wanted to have properties of my own.
Yes.
I'm not even looking at selling or whatever. I was always knowing that I want to be an investor in this space.
Yes.
But I know I need to know something that I don't know.
Yes.
People are doing it. How are they doing this thing? Because I remember before I invested into production, right, mostly lighting, I had some raw cash. I had about 2 million. And I was like, God, this is a huge money I had for the first time, that huge. So I was like, together, when I mean together, once, it was a business I did and I got it once. So I was excited. It's just one small business and I got this 2 million. I said, no, this 2 million must be for something. And I really wanted to invest it. So my mind was more of the real estate. I know I did a lot of toiling, trying to call people, ask questions. There's something I can do with this 2 million around the real estate. But I wasn't getting it until that thing was announced. So I went on and
you were my group, right?
Yes, I was. You were my group leader. I was given the assignment to coordinate, and I remember after our end of the year party, I remember you saying you will be the next leader of the other group. I said, Nibo, please, I don't want to be any of your. But I learned a lot from you. Just speaking, because I know we usually have like a weekly meeting. We're always meeting online. So I'm always, you were pouring yourself, because I know I don't miss out on that. Even when I have other classes, I'm like, no, I don't want to miss this woman talking. And I was just, gathering knowledge, just to understand what the space is all about. And then if I'm to come into it, maybe as an investor, as a director, whatever it is I want to come in, I have an understanding of how to go about it, And that has stayed with me for a very long time. And I was going to say, this is an opportunity to say very big thank you. You give so much of yourself, just like your creator. Our creator who knows how to give himself,
We should be thanking Pastor Poju.
Yes, Pastor Poju is, this is me saying a big shout out to Pastor Poju Oyemade for the community group.
That's
he has
community.
gathered Muslims, Christians. I'm sorry, I have to say this because I know people in this production. I can mention him, but let me leave his name. They've gone to learn a lot, and they're my Muslim friends who are in the film and theater space, who also are doing so well as a result. And we've all connected. We all work together and stuff like that. So thank you. It's a community group that just can't stop. It's enlarging so much that we don't know. I remember when I came here, I asked for this. I remember when I came into TCN, I remember I said, this is not a church. For me, it's not a church, it's an institute. I said that, and before I knew it, the following year at the WOFBEC, Pastor Poju just said, it's no more CCC, the Covenant Nation. It's not the TCN, what they call it, what's our complete TCN? Yes, TCN.
It's something, it was global.
What was our TCN name? I can't remember, whichever. Anyway, it was changed to TCN and all that. I was like, I know this is a global church. It's not a regular church. It's really transforming life. Thank you, Pastor Poju. Yes, it did transform my life too. And that teaching, and people were just coming and just giving themselves, just like you received.
I didn't offer. I never. That was one of the reasons how I knew that God was putting me in real estate.
Wow.
I came to teach the community group one semester. For one session. Then the next session, they just called me and said, you are going to be a group leader. I said, Laye.
See what I said to you too?
I said, Dakpada. This Laulus girl just I said, I don't know how to handle WhatsApp group. I just started counting 37 things that I don't know how to do. They said, well, we will give you an assistant. I'm sure you don't have to connect WhatsApp. Well, you know, every idea that I had, I ended up never needing an assistant, but I did it afraid. Yeah, I did it afraid. And one of the things that I always say, when I do something afraid, it's God.
Sounds very interesting so far. So now let's talk about your current projects in the real estate space. So I know that you're working on a very huge project. I want to believe this is your latest baby. Latest baby that you've been trying to bath for a while now, and you've been very careful and particular about this baby. I know, because you know I also have been brought in to do one or two stuff with you on this space. So I know you are so particular about this child that is about to be born. It's already been born. We've given.
Mama is walking
by now, so that's the part of the story I want to hear, because I know you were giving birth to it. You were like in the theater then. When I came last.
Tell me about it.
So tell me more about Golf Town. 200 units, 9 whole golf resorts. Eco-friendly homes. That is not just a real estate. That's a community building. Where did that vision came from? What were you trying to create beyond houses? Tell us.
So, okay, I said the same thing. When it's time, God pulls me into it. We knew that my timing for being a realtor, I'm still a realtor, I still sell land, I still sell properties. The time was coming to an end. I was already getting a bit tired and bored again. But because real estate is dynamic, I was always in the space of developers. I found myself pulled into the development world by my mentors. And they called me and said, well, the Real Estate Developers Association is having an election. Madam Labake, you are going to compete. You are going to be, we are putting you forward as a legal advisor in Lagos. I went to that. It was very scary. I was like, I'm not yet. Take by me. You know, I wanted to, we had aspired to be, we were started selling lands and land sites and services. And I just said, okay, no problem, we will go with you guys, because there are people that I was comfortable in their space. And I felt pulled into going into all the developers. Whenever developers are gathering for summit, or just go, sit down there. Sometimes they will be telling me, you don't have one land that's selling, you are sitting with billionaires that are selling. Just sit down there in their space. But that's how they called me. Real Estate Developers Association, Legal Advisor Lagos. Comfortable in that space, thriving in it. What's next? We started seeing we knew, my partners and I knew that we now want to go into development. But we knew that one thing, because I had now had years, more than a decade of experience in real estate, I knew that the dynamics of real estate was changing. My clients and clients all over the world, when you are selling and you're a marketer, you will understand the dynamics of selling and the mindset of the client. And I discovered that the new clients were not just looking for a 2-bedroom in Lekki or 3-bedroom in Magodo. They were now looking for the extras.
Wow.
Maybe, okay, if the penthouse is 100 million, hey, I want penthouse. They were now becoming very particular. And we had a dream. I had a dream that I wanted to build countryside homes. There's no countryside homes in Nigeria. And because I travel a lot, I know that the foreigners always have the weekend where they're, I'm going to the countryside for the weekend. I'm going to the countryside. When you go to London, when you go to France, you see saying we're going to the countryside for the weekend. We don't have a countryside to go to. But we started looking. But we're not looking to build. We're just looking like, okay, let's find somewhere. And suddenly I was somewhere one day in my house, gingerly sitting, and somebody called me and said, I want you to come and see something, whether you can help me sell it. And that was what brought me to Mowe. And once I got to Mowe, I just said, this is it. This is what's right. And I called my partners. I said, come and look at something. And everyone came and said, oh, this is where we're going to build the green homes. This is green. This is that. And bear in mind, I was very careful about my niche marketing, which was the island. I've never marketed mainland. So for me to get to somewhere and feel comfortable and say this is home, I knew that this was God. Of course, we went into prayers and everything. We kind of had an idea that we were going to build green homes. But what we now did was that we were going into a new space that we didn't know anything about. I do not know. Before we started moving, I do not know how many bags of cement constitutes foundation. I didn't know anything about when they will roof. I just used to go and stand in front of the house and say, this is a terrace bed, I don't know the dynamics. So my partners and I decided that we were going to go to WOFBEC for the entire and not do anything.
Wow. And
just go and sit down. So the WOFBEC of 2025, I was very, very, very intentional. I'm not asking you for anything, God. I'm just going to sit down and download. I'm going to give myself to you because I don't know where you're taking me to this year. But these are the plans. This is what we are thinking about. And while I'm here, speak to everyone differently about what you want us to do.
Yeah.
We just shut down completely. They didn't negotiate anything. They didn't talk about me. We didn't talk about anything. Even the name, nothing. Until after WOFBEC. But during WOFBEC, we already knew it was going to be about 100 homes, blah, blah, blah. It was looking so scary. And our partners were like, how are we going to talk about this thing? And then during WOFBEC, I think it was Poju that talked about somebody wanting to build 200 houses.
Yes, I remember.
Because on that day, my partner jumped from where she was, far away, and ran and said, they just talked about our land. You know, that kind of thing. We just knew. There were so many things that we got from WOFBEC. So from WOFBEC, we went straight to lock ourselves in another room to start thinking about the whole thing. It was from WOFBEC, we locked ourselves in, took that 3 days of something, strategy meeting. The Mowe got our name, what we were going to build, how we were going to build, and everything. We now took it to the man and said, we don't want to just sell landside and services, we want to build. But by that time, it too was a praying person. And when we kept on saying, let's bring this industry, I said, no, it's you that God said I should work with. You know, that kind of thing. But I would say, I don't know how I'm going to do this thing. You see, I don't care, whatever, let's just do this and everything. But we had good partners, and we started. Now we knew that there was enough land. But can we have a golf course? Oh, the owner said, I've been dreaming of having a golf resort here. Beautiful. Can we have green homes? Can we have countryside? We're not building upstairs and downstairs. We just want somewhere where everyone can come and breathe. The
like
Nigerian countryside. You know, we go home for Christmas.
Yes,
our village. And everybody
yes.
says, I'm going to the village. Suddenly, the village became a no-go area because of security reasons. But where can we go and just breathe fresh air and not even hear the sound of horn? You know that I can hear the sound of music. That will you ever get there? You know that it always plays in my mind when I get to movie.
Wow.
The sound of birds singing, you know, the river flow, and there was a river there. We just found the river, and we knew that this is where. And again, it now looked like that Mrs. Adetumbi, you are only selling land. 3 ladies jumping to building straight. That's never been done in the industry. You shall be growing small, and you don't want to build 10.
Don't envy me, guys. I'm telling
You are building 100. It's your audacity for you are building 200.
200.
Yes, we just be going there, and the power of prayer. Of course, we have our highs and our lows, our days of. Are you sure? You know the funny thing, on the days of, can we do this thing? Sometimes you just come and say, oh, God said that you can tell this thing is a good idea, or this. The days that we are feeling low, God will send someone or an idea, or someone will a sale. Someone will just say, oh, they just sold 2 bungalows, 3 bungalows. You know, it just started happening. To the level that we had to stop sales at some point in time.
Are you serious?
Yes, we had to stop sales at some point in time to go back to the booth. That if people are rushing this thing, let's go and look at our booth. You know, we are women, and then we didn't do our costume very well. You know that kind of thing.
So why are they rushing it like this?
What's going on? People will come, and we told God that we didn't want. God told us initially that for me, I heard it wasn't going to be. Yeah, the verse He gave us at WOFBEC was that you did not fight for this land. It was a gift. And when we got that land, we did not have to do anything. It was literally
just handed over to you guys.
And there was that passage
confirmed
it. So again, that now meant that me that I've been marketing houses all my life. Who are the clients that will buy this place? God. I said, no, they will come to you. And it's in the Bible again.
Gosh.
They will come, and that will come to you. People will drive and come. Realtors will bring somebody. Then somebody will say somebody will tell somebody. It has been not the regular kind of people buying. The people that even the realtors that have sold will tell you that I've been marketing everywhere. Suddenly, my client just came over and said, hey, now I found what I've been looking for. You know, that kind of thing. So God Himself has been taking over. And then we had the launch, the experience center last Saturday.
Yeah, that's the part I like to hear.
It blew everybody's minds. It was amazing. Everything we use, we are using polystyrene to build. It has never been done. Our flooring is polished concrete. It has never been done. We brought French windows. That's the doors. The windows are like doors. They are actually doors. So it's all the doors in all our bungalows opens to the garden.
To the ground or to the garden.
To the garden.
Okay.
So every house has a garden. And enough garden for every door to open into a garden. And it's French doors. So when you come to us and you see the windows are as massive as doors, they're the old French kind of countryside. So we literally, somebody saw it on Saturday and said, it's like a little mix of old Italy with French countryside. That is exactly what we're doing. And we wanted a legacy. We wanted to build a kind of environment where children, where you can come and say, that's a fruit tree. The first time we brought children to Mowe Gulf Town, they did not understand. They were that's cassava. They were asking us, so where's the gari? So you don't even know that the gari is from the cassava. So they didn't know the kola tree. They didn't know a lot of things. Children don't even know the countryside and play where there's free oxygen. There's enough without pollution.
Yes.
So that was the idea behind Mowe Gulf Town. So it wasn't just building for again. remember I always tell you, when I do business, it's never about the money.
Money alone. This relationship side.
And now Moe was about what are we going to let me put it in the right word. What legacy are we bringing to life? Legacy. And why are we differentiating? Is it differentiating for money, or is it differentiating because we want a healthy life work balance? So when we go to Moe, we want to sleep. We don't want to come back to Lagos because it's quiet. The river. Sometimes I just want to sit down and dip my feet in the river and watch the day go by. Is somewhere where you just go and just exhale and breathe quietly.
Could it be said that the motives behind this project was one of the reasons God could have handed it over to you in the first place?
Somebody said to me one day, he came to Moe and he saw the river and he said, this is a land that breathes, that is living. It's living. There's hills, there's valleys, there's river, and we're not touching the topography. So now said, this river is a spring and it's always cold, very cold. You've been there.
Yes, I have.
And he said, Madam, can I tell you something? This river chose you.